get out of my own way, I'll be winning every single day. Do it my way, do it my way. I've been dealing with myself for a while. I always have my mind in the sky. Have you seen the one from his high? I'd say, yeah, I live this life, I live it my way. Shorty ride with me, she coming my way. How you so fly, hey? We gon' fly away, yeah, we gon' get high. Someday I'll go see how I bossed up, but I kept it low key. How they talking down when they don't know me, and it's just so easy when you overcomplicate. I hit her with the layup, pay up. I get no sleep, I be up so late. I be working hard, good food on my plate. I'ma keep on going on, never be afraid. I'll never be afraid, no talk, running, chasing all the good things that await ahead. I know if I get out of my own way, I'll be winning every single day. Do it my way, do it my way. I've been dealing with myself for a while. I always have my mind in the sky. Have you seen the world from his high?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you doing on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon? What I want to talk to you about today is we always hear about who the potential sixth roommate was. We've heard it was Ashlyn Couch because she had, I guess, Xana had taken the lease over from her. Well, what if the sixth roommate was actually somebody else as well? Somebody that was answering the door during the noise complaints. Hunter Johnson's girlfriend, Emily, could have been the sixth roommate, because we're always hearing about there was a fifth roommate that went to the hospital that morning. So what if that fifth roommate that went to the hospital was Hunter J's girlfriend, Emily? Now, I understand there was been the stories out there that Hunter Johnson was coming over that morning to check on Ethan because they had plans. Well, if you notice that the night that the LE talked to Maddie on the phone, Hunter Johnson had a pink phone. So did he have his girlfriend's phone? His girlfriend called Maddie, and Hunter took the phone out to the police officers. It's all plausible, guys. Sorry, there's a fly bothering me right now. I wanted to show you guys something. Which kind of brings it to light. Hugs from Roomie's BF. Now, who is that hugging Hunter? Could that be Bethany? Could it be any of the other blonde females in the house at the time? So could we have potentially found the sixth roommate living in the house at the time? Because we've all heard the stories, guys. We've all heard that Kaylee had moved out and she was staying with her parents. And the only reason why she went back to the house that weekend was to show her best friend / sister Maddie her new Range Rover. And that could also potentially be the reason why Kaylee was sleeping in the bed with Maddie, is because Kaylee didn't live there. She was just staying the weekend. because she was leaving out that following Monday for her new job in Austin, Texas. It just is common sense to think that's the reason why Hunter was called over to the house that morning, was by his girlfriend, because we've all heard that, the 8-hour gap and stuff like that, which we're, as far as that goes, we weren't in the house that morning, so we really don't know exactly what was going on that morning in the house in that 8-hour gap. We're out, on this case, we're outside looking in. We have the gag order. We have everything else that pertains to that. We have Bill Thompson sealing all the records up. But I mean, you even had that one reporter with verified text messages that a fifth roommate went to the hospital that morning. And it just makes you wonder if the unconscious person call wasn't one of these roommates, say Emily, passed out from the smell of the blood and the smell of the decomp that was starting. Because if she left before the police got there, because there's reports that she left in a private vehicle and went to the hospital, then she wouldn't be put in the PCA. Only the ones that gave their recollections, say Dylan, on what happened that night, Bethany, would be put in the PCA. And we all know that the PCA is just a LE driven narrative. We know that. But it also makes you think on if the plausibility of Emily being the sixth roommate living in the house at the time doesn't hold some weight to it. Because if you think about it, Hunter Johnson being over there constantly, and I understand he was one of Ethan's best friends. The picture of the woman giving Hunter a hug, saying, getting hugs from Roomie's BF. So, I mean, what does that say to you guys? Could Emily be the sixth roommate that was living in the house at that time? She was the one, she was the one that answered the door. And she was caught on body cam answering the door on one of the noise complaint calls. And the person and the phone that Hunter had in his hand, handing it to the cops, was a pink phone. So, for all we know, is that phone was Emily's. She called Maddie, gave it to Hunter. Hunter took it out to the cops. There's just odd stuff going on in this case. It really is. There's odd stuff going on in this case. Like, why all of a sudden did Ashlyn Couch come out? A year, mind you, not instantly after the murders, but a year after the murders, with this foundation or this nonprofit that she'd set up in the memory of Kaylee and Maddie. We hadn't heard from her in an entire year. Then all of a sudden, she pops up, living in another state, mind you, and Xana took the lease over from Ashland Couch. But how come Ashland Couch was still recognized on the lease as a roommate? That's what don't make no sense to me. If you're not living there and you gave your lease over to somebody living there, why is your name still on the lease? What is all the secrecy in this case, guys? Really, what is all the secrecy? If Emily was a roommate, fine, sure. She's a roommate. But why all of us, why was the fact hidden that she was the sixth roommate or potential sixth roommate for almost 2 years? It just makes you think. It makes you use your brain on why all these. Now, some say they're plausible, plausible deniabilities as far as the roommates go. In this case, as far as the house getting torn down, oh, that's according to the U of I, it's a plausible deniability when we all know that there's money behind the house getting torn down. And why did the U of I dedicate the memorial garden to more than just Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan when they procured the funds for it? That was the original idea was just for Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, and Ethan, but it was for all vandals who they have lost. And it goes back to the 1122 King Road, which we know now is gone, and I think that was a bad idea. I think you should have waited till after the trial to do so. But we all hear it. They're distancing themselves from the crime scene in their off-campus home. They were killed in their off-campus home. Off, we've heard off-campus home so many times I've lost count on how many times I've heard off-campus home, off-campus home, and even in the body cam, guys. Blaker says we know this is an off-campus sorority home. Off-campus sorority home. That's all we hear is off campus, off campus. And what did Olivia mean by, they were living their best life in the iconic, well-known house? How iconic. And she even went on to state that everybody on that corner had the access code to the keypad lock on the front door. It's just weird the way she stated it, that everyone on King Road, on that entire corner, on that entire block, had access to the keypad of the house. My question is, why? Why did they all have it? Why did everybody living there have access? I can understand, guys. I can understand the roommates living there having access to the code for the keypad. I can understand that because they live there. But why do all the other houses around it have the keypad number? Just a thought. Does that mean Sigma Chi had the keypad number as well? Because if you look at it, guys, in that body cam from the Banfield, the night of the alcohol stop, you see 4 people running away from the vicinity of the house. And the officer tries to turn his body cam where you can't see it. But you see 4 people in the dark running from the vicinity of the house at, I think it was 3:14 in the morning or 3 something in the morning. But yet none of that matters, guys. None of that freaking matters. The only thing that matters to them is at 3:29 a.m., suspect vehicle 1 enters the area. That's all that matters to them, is suspect vehicle 1 entering the area at 3:29 a.m. But at a little after 3, you had 4 or 5 people running from the vicinity of the house towards Sigma Chi. And why is Sigma Chi allowed not to have cameras around their building, on the outside of the building? Do they not want people to see the debauchery that they go through? Or that quite a few of them have K-bars? So that makes you wonder, guys, if the real killer isn't somewhere inside Sigma Chi. Now, I'm not blaming all the frat boys. I'm not saying all the frat boys did it. But there's somebody inside that frat boy or the Sigma Chi fraternity that knows something, because a few days after the murders, they showed videos of themselves playing with their K-bar knives. So Sigma Chi had K-bars. It just makes you wonder if the real killer isn't hiding in plain sight. And it makes you wonder why Bill Thompson is so adamant about not getting the 3 male unknown DNAs tested, because you never know. Because Bill Thompson is trying to protect the image of the University of Idaho. And so is Kathy Mabbitt. And don't get me started on her. She has contradicted herself numerous times. Numerous. At first saying, oh, well, yeah, they all were asleep. And they all had stab wounds, when we know the only 2 that had stab wounds was Maddie and Kaylee. And why did Kaylee get it worse than everybody in that house? Why did Kaylee's death, why was it more brutal than Maddie's, than Xana's, than Ethan's? See, at first, they were going with this crime of passion narrative. Well, Kaylee had just broken up with Jack D. And he didn't live that far from the house. You've got to put your critical thinking caps on, guys. Is the true killer still there in Moscow, hiding in plain sight? We will never know because of the gag order. We will never know because Bill Thompson has his patsy. Brian Koberger is a patsy for the state. I say that over and over again, guys. He is a patsy. Because why isn't anybody else being investigated? And why was everyone cleared so quickly? Even Christy Gonzalez said the same thing in an interview. Everyone was just cleared so quickly. Why? What are they trying to hide? Seriously, what are they trying to hide? Did Jack D's alibi even get vetted properly? We don't know. And we'll more than likely never know if it was even vetted at all. And why did Jack D not answer his phone when Kaylee and Maddie were calling him? Why? We'll never know that either. Kaylee and Maddie were brutally stabbed. Kaylee got it worse than Maddie. And Xana and Ethan had sharp force injuries. Xana's fingers were nearly severed. She had defensive wounds, severe ones. And what's weird is Ethan's death was his throat was slashed. Whoever did this slit his throat. And wasn't that night, guys, wasn't he having beef with somebody from Sigma Chi because they were hitting on Xana? And then miraculously the same night, not only he is murdered, but so is Xana and Kaylee and Maddie. It just makes you think. Because the vandal alert was put out at 4:07. 3 hours later, it was lifted. Why? And with the reward posters that were put up around Moscow, the U of I got pissed about reward posters for four dead college students that went to their school, and they got mad because they didn't want it to affect Rush Week. There's a murder just off campus from you, and you're cared about Rush Week. That is so disgusting and horrible to think that you just care about your fraternities and your sororities, and you want the reward posters gone because it'll affect your stupid Rush Week. This song makes me go WTF half the time. I got a song stuck in my head right now. But this case as well makes me go WTF. I mean, especially with what was in that last document It was the defense's response to the state. And I truly believe there is mob mentality going on there in Idaho and towards Brian. You have the judge is married to a tenured professor at the U of I, and that's a conflict of interest. The coroner, Kathy Mavitt, is a teacher, a professor of law at the U of I, and she's also a U of I alumni. Bill Thompson is a U of I alumni. Ann Taylor, who thoroughly believes that Brian is innocent, is a alumni at the U of I. But apparently, the justice system there in Idaho doesn't care about innocent until proven guilty, which is a core foundation of the judicial system. Innocent until proven guilty. Brian is already guilty in the many there in the eyes of the Moscowins, Nez Perce, Lewiston, the mainstream media. Everyone's already skewering him and wanting him dead. I mean, even in an interview that Stephen Christie did with Vinnie Politan, she stated, "I hope this guy burns in agony in the deepest parts of hell." We've all, all of us as humans, have got to remember: innocent until proven guilty. And the whole thing in Moscow screams, guys, it screams corruption and cover up. And whatever hair I have left on my head, it makes me pull out whatever hair I have left. Like always, guys, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and share my channel. Hit that bell notification for any new uploads, and stay tuned tonight for my live stream with Criminal Confidential and Echoes of Clarity. It's going to be a really awesome live. You guys have a good Tuesday afternoon. This is TCC out. Peace.